to my channel. Welcome if you are new. My name is Hallie and I'm so happy that you're here. Today we're going to be doing Read It or Unhaul It episode 3. If you've missed the previous episodes, episode 1 is up on my YouTube channel and episode 2 is up on the Patreon book club. I'm really excited to be getting back to this series because I originally wanted to go into the Read It or Unhaul It challenge with the intention of prioritizing my physical TBR, and I kind of fell off of it whenever I was in my little summer slump, but I'm very determined to get through my physical TBR. I do really enjoy having books on my physical TBR, but I just don't think I want this many unread books on my physical TBR. I think I really would like to get down to like maybe just having like between 25 and 30 unread books like total on my physical TBR. That way I do have some to choose from at all times because I love being able to shop my shelves, especially whenever I'm like in the mood for reading but I don't know exactly what I want to read. I love having options already at my house, but I feel like having a smaller amount of unread books on my shelf will be a little bit less overwhelming. So without further ado, we're going to pick our first 2 books for the Read It or Unhaul It. As always, depending on what we get, that will kind of determine how many books we read for the video, because if I pull some of the really long and intimidating books that are currently on my physical TBR, that will change the trajectory of this video. So we're going to shake up the jar. And the first 2 episodes of this I pulled just completely blind. I do have all of the different genres color coordinated, but the first 2 episodes I just went in completely blind, and I don't know if I want to do that again or if I want to like search for a specific genre. Okay, for the first one, I'm gonna go in completely blind, and then depending on what I pull, maybe I will go for like a certain genre after that, I guess. So let's just see what oh, one fell out, hold on. It was this one, I'm putting it back. So let's just see what we get for our first pull. I'm so nervous. Okay, is this just one? Because no, it's definitely 2. Okay, hold on. I'm going with this one. Let's see. Okay, it's purple. I think it's fantasy. I don't remember if that's adult fantasy or YA fantasy. Let's see what it is. A Curse for True Love. Okay, I actually recently read this one, so that's done. Let's try again for a second completely blind pick. I'm just gonna go with this one. Pink. Okay, I think that this actually is adult fantasy and then the purple is YA fantasy. So let's see. Kingdom of the Feared. Okay, so this is the, I think, 2nd or 3rd book in the series, so that means that I'll be reading the first book in the series because that is the one that I'm currently on, which is Kingdom of the Wicked. Okay, yeah, so that'll be Kingdom of the Wicked. I will go up there and grab that in 1 second after we pick our second book. Honestly, that's kind of crazy that I just pulled that because whenever I looked up at the shelves and I was like contemplating if I wanted to try and pick a specific genre or something, that is literally the book that I like made eye contact with, so I feel like I just accidentally manifested that. I'm really excited to read that one. I've kind of been like putting it off, but a couple of weeks ago I randomly read the first few chapters of it just to like see what the vibes were, and I was kind of vibing with it, so I'm excited to be kind of like forced to read that one finally for this vlog. Okay, honestly, we had pretty good luck with the blind draw, so I think I'm gonna go in completely blind again once this plane finishes going by. Okay, let's go in for our second pick. This is actually so much fun. Like, it's so scary to not know what you're gonna get, but it really is so much fun. Okay, I have one. A pink again. Okay, so this is a YA fantasy. I'm really intrigued to see what this is gonna be. Throne of the Fallen? Okay, hold on, because I can't read this until I finish the Kingdom of the Wicked series. So I don't really know what to do about that. I don't know if that means I should read like the first 2 books in the series or if I should just I'm gonna put this one to the side as a maybe, like maybe I'll read the second book in the series as well. I don't really know what to do about that one. I didn't think about that if I have like series that are like come after a trilogy or a series. Okay, let's just pull and see what I get. I'm gonna keep that one to the side as a maybe. Okay, we're gonna do our last pull. I think I'm gonna try and pull like pretty far from the bottom because the other ones I feel like I pulled it from the top-ish. Okay, I have one. I'm nervous. Okay, so the pink with the heart means it's a romance. I am nervous because I feel like the romance books on my physical TBR are the ones that I'm like the most iffy about, because a lot of the romance books that I bought at the beginning of like my reading journey, I feel like are not my vibe anymore, and I actually have been considering unhauling a lot of those, so I'm really nervous to see what this is. Magnolia Park's Into the Dark. Wait, I'm so excited about this. So I'm currently on the second book. It's Daisy Hates, I believe is what it's called. I'm so excited about this actually because I really, really enjoyed the first Magnolia Parks book. These pulls were so good. Like this is actually so good. Okay, let me grab the books real quick and then I'll come back to you guys. The series is so fun. Okay, so we have Kingdom of the Wicked and Daisy Hates, which actually, is this in the wrong order? I think this is actually the third book. Hold on, I'll be right back. Okay, I think that this is actually the first Daisy Hates book, but I'm gonna look it up just in case because now I'm like second guessing everything and I don't want to read them out of order on accident. Okay, yes, so this is the second book. So these are our first two books for Read It or Unhaul It episode 3. I feel like these were such great pulls. So I want to really quickly read the synopsis for the book so that we can see what they're about and pick which one I want to start off with. Starting off with Kingdom of the Wicked, the synopsis for this one says Amelia and her twin sister Victoria are Strahi, I don't know how to say that word, witches who live secretly among humans, avoiding notice and persecution. One night, Vittoria misses dinner service at the family's renowned Sicilian restaurant. Amelia soon finds the body of her beloved twin. I forgot that happened. That's kind of crazy. Okay. Desecrated beyond belief, devastated, Amelia sets out to find her sister's killer and to seek vengeance at any cost, even if it means using dark magic that's been long forbidden. Then Amelia meets Wrath, one of the wicked princes of hell she has been warned against in tales ever since she was a child. Wrath claims to be on Amelia's side, tasked by his master with solving a series of women's murders on the island. But when it comes to the wicked, nothing is as it seems. I forgot she literally teams up with the Prince of Hell in this. Like, that's gonna eat. So that is the first one. And then Daisy Hates. I'm so excited for this one because if you don't know, in the Magnolia Parks universe, it's like a series of books, but they kind of alternate the main character. So in the first book, the main character is Magnolia Parks. So the first book is named Magnolia Parks. And then in the second book, we are introduced to our second main character, which is Daisy Hates. And they kind of have like an intermingling friend group. So I think in this book, we kind of are in the same timeline as the first Magnolia Parks books, except we are seeing it from the perspective of a different character. And also it's like in Magnolia Parks we were following like Magnolia and BJ and like their whole thing, but I think that like some of the events that happen in this book will be like in this book but like in the background, I guess. So I think that that will be really, really interesting. And I've heard a lot of people say that you're either a Magnolia girl or a Daisy girl. I really enjoyed Magnolia Parks, but like it really, really reminded me of Gossip Girl, and I am such a Gossip Girl stan. Like I love Gossip Girl so much, so I think that that's why I liked it. Like it literally was just like so much toxicity. Like you should not be rooting for their relationship at all, to be honest, but I did like it. Okay, I can't lie. I did like it, but definitely if you don't like toxic behavior and like messy relationships and just so much like unnecessary drama, you would not like this series, I don't think. But I'm really excited to continue going, and the covers to this series are like some of the prettiest covers ever. This edition actually doesn't have, oh yes it does, okay, it's at the beginning. I found it. Okay, so the synopsis of this book says, all 20-year-old Daisy Hates has ever wanted is a normal life, but it's just not in the cards for her. Raised by her older brother Julian, which I've heard that people love Julian, so I'm very excited to see his character. Raised by her older brother Julian since their parents were murdered. Oh my god, I did not know that. Daisy has never been able to escape the watchful gaze of her gang lord brother. He's a gang lord? Julian. But Julian's line of work means that Daisy's life is complicated, and things don't become any easier when she falls hard for the beautiful and emotionally unavailable Christian Hems, I don't know, who also happens to be one of the few men in London who don't answer to Julian. Christian's life is no walk in the park either, since he's in love with his best friend's girlfriend. What? Hold on. He's happy enough to use Daisy to throw off the scent of his true affections until she starts to infiltrate those too. Wait, does he like Magnolia too? Hold on. This is about to be so messy. Okay. As their romance blossoms into something neither were anticipating, Daisy, Christian, and Julian must come to terms with the fact that in this life, everything comes at a price. And sometimes life's most worthwhile pursuits can only be paid in blood. Okay. I feel like I'm gonna really, really like this one. I think that Magnolia Parks for me was like a 4-star read, so I'm very interested to see if I end up being more of a Daisy Hates girl, because the synopsis for that one alone already has me feeling a little bit more intrigued than I feel like I was to go into the first Magnolia Park book. So very excited. These are such good pulls. I feel like this is going to be such a successful and fun read it or unhaul it episode. I'm hoping to start doing these a lot more regularly, like at least once a month, maybe like twice a month if I'm feeling absolutely crazy. Who knows? For now, these are the books that we're going to start with. I will see you guys in a little bit for us to start our first book. it has been a few days. It's actually like super late right now, but it's been a few days. I planned on recording like all the next day and then all today. So I started this vlog on Sunday, and then I read Sunday night, and then Monday morning I woke up at like 5:30 or 6 or something, and my daughter was feeling really sick. So then I ended up taking her to the doctor, and we spent a very long time at the doctor that day. And then all yesterday and today she ended up staying home from school. So I basically just spent like all yesterday and today taking care of her. I kept reading. I've made it pretty far into Daisy Hates, but I didn't end up recording anything because I just didn't want to deal with like recording for the vlog while she was feeling sick. We were just completely off our schedule because she was just not feeling well. So that is where the last 2 days went. But I did, like I said, make some big progress in Daisy Hates, and it is so good so far. Like, first of all, this is so messy, okay? Because tell me why. We have Daisy Hates, who's pining after Christian Hems, who is pining after Magnolia Parks, who is pining after BJ Ballantyne. In between all that, Daisy Hates' older brother is pining after someone. Who is he pining after? I can't even remember all the names, because in this book there's like an entire different group that's introduced, because it's like all of the whole friend group that's kind of like more on Daisy's side, and then there's the intermingling group that's like also in Magnolia Parks. There's just a lot of different names, and it's always really hard for me to balance names to begin with. So there's just a lot going on. Oh yeah, and then Daisy, she's pining after Christian, but she also has an ex-boyfriend. I'm not gonna spoil anything, but they're not together anymore, but like they kind of are like trauma bonded because something happened. So like there's still like a piece of her, and so he's pining after Daisy, who's pining after Christian, who's pining after Magnolia, who's pining after BJ. It's like this is so messy, okay? And so because of that, because of the fact that like she is pining after Christian and Christian is like in love with Magnolia, it was honestly kind of hard for me to get into it in the beginning, because I just was like, I don't know how I can be like rooting for this when he's constantly talking about how amazing Magnolia is, and he's so in love with Magnolia, and there's no one like her. He's never felt like this way before. He'll never feel like this again for anybody. Daisy's great, but like she's not Magnolia. You know, it's like, okay, you're not really making me believe you know what I'm saying? But somehow here I am, and I'm at a point in the book where things are just rapidly going downhill, and I'm like, why am I stressed? Like, why am I stressed? I should have seen this coming from a mile away, honestly. If you would have asked me at like page 25 through like 35, honestly, maybe even 50 of this book, if I would have cared when this was happening, I would have said, no, that's stupid, because honestly, their relationship isn't really meaningful, you know? But somehow over the course of 312 pages of this, I'm like, no, I'll accept nothing less than you two ending up together. It's crazy. I really like Jessa Hastings' writing style. There are a few things that I highlighted. Honestly, I feel like I haven't really tabbed too much in this book, because literally up until like this point, this is all him in love with Magnolia. And so it's like, I did not think that I would get to a point where I like actually believe that he is genuinely invested in Daisy fully, because of how hung up on Magnolia he was, and like because of how convincing it was. I mean, not was, like is, like he deeply loves her, and she deeply loves BJ, and Daisy deeply loves, it's like, I can't even explain it. It's kind of crazy. But anyway, an example of Jessa Hastings' writing style, because I love it, and it's so hard for me to explain, because I feel like the way that she writes is so metaphorical and so beautiful, but like it's not necessarily in a way that feels too much. It's like just the right amount of extra, I guess. This quote I feel like is a really good example. So it says, that's how touching is with him, how being with him is, I guess. Like when you don't realize it's raining and it doesn't feel sudden, not like the sky was blue and you turn around and then it's pouring, but like it's been overcast the whole time, and then it's one drip, and then another, and then another, and then another, and then you're saturated, and now you can't really tell which drop saturated you, but it happened slowly and snuck right past you. Like, that is such a beautiful way to describe the feeling that you're having when you're with somebody, and it makes perfect sense. Like, I feel like it makes perfect sense, and I think that that's the thing that makes me love the writing, because I feel like I've read books before that it feels more like they're trying to be lyrical, but it just doesn't hit, because the meaning behind the like metaphor just doesn't fully hit, I guess, and so then it just feels feels unnecessary, like just unnecessary words. But I feel like that was beautiful, and I completely understand the feeling that she's trying to convey by using that metaphor. And so then it works and it feels not just like random words, if that makes sense. So I don't know. I'm having a great time. I honestly can't believe how great of a time that I'm having. Just again, because I was having such a hard time getting into it at first, because I just was like, how am I going to root for this? Like, they're all in love with different people. Like, literally everybody is in love with different people. But it's like, it's so messy and toxic that it's just so good. Like, I'm so hooked, and I'm honestly like emotionally invested, and I just kind of can't believe it. One thing I will say about like the way that this book is written, so along the whole thing, I'm like trying to find an example. So like you have the regular writing, and then down here there's like footnotes. So that is like throughout the whole book, and I was having such a hard time. I think just because my ADHD, like it just kept taking me out of the story, trying to like look down, because there's like a number obviously, and then you go down to the number and read what the footnote is, and then you go back up. But like on some pages there's like 5 or 6 of them. So I was having such a hard time. It was like taking me out of the story every single time that I had to pause the sentence up here, go down, read this up here, come back up here, go down, read the footnote. It just was like, honestly, I was really struggling with it, and I feel like that kind of contributed to me having a hard time getting into the story. So then after that I was like, maybe if I just read the whole page and then read all the footnotes at the end, like that would be easier for me. But then that got confusing, because it's like I'd be reading the footnotes and I'm like, wait, what was that in reference to again? So then I'd have to go back up here anyway, and then it would take me even longer because I'm trying to find what part that was even referencing. So instead I just ended up looking up the audiobook, and they had it on Spotify. So I've been doing an immersive read with this, and that has been a game changer with me for this book. Something about going back and forth with the footnotes was so confusing for me, and I really like the way that the audiobook does it, because they just blend the footnotes in seamlessly, like right behind the sentence, which honestly I feel like the book could have just been written that way. Like I don't know if like doing it in the form of footnotes was trying to like make it seem more like it was like her private thoughts or like a side note to herself or something like that. I've never seen like just a regular book do that, I feel like. So I don't know if the purpose of formatting it that way was like to purposely emphasize the fact that it's kind of like a side note. I don't know, I guess maybe some people don't read the footnotes, I guess. I don't know. Like, I honestly don't know. I feel like it's kind of weird, but I really like doing the immersive read because the audiobook just like puts them in seamlessly in all of the dialogue. And I think that that really, really, really heavily contributed to my ability and being able to like actually get into the story. And like, I don't know, just something about having to go back and forth for me. Again, I think just because ADHD, because it's hard for me to like get into a new book in general sometimes, because like my focus is just not there. So then having to pause the story to go and down, like that just, it's not a good format for me, honestly. I don't think. So really, really enjoying the immersive read for this one. I honestly can't believe how much I'm enjoying the story. I'm enjoying it to a point that right now, because everything is kind of going horribly, we got like a couple chapters of like, yay, happy, oh my god, and I like couldn't believe how happy I was, because I was like, since when did I care? Like, me? Since when do I care? So we got a couple chapters of that, and now everything is just going so wrong. Everything is going so wrong, and I care so much to the point where I'm honestly like getting nervous about finishing the book and about what is going to come, because then also like I'll have to read another Magnolia book before I can read the next Daisy book. And I do think that like at this point, like only having read like the first books of each Magnolia and Daisy, I do think I'm enjoying this one a little bit more than Magnolia. It's really gonna depend on how this book ends for the rating for me. I think like I'm still pretty undecided, just because I'm so like caught off guard by how much I'm like invested and how much I care, just again based off of the premise and the fact that literally everybody is in love with the wrong person in this book. There's just so much going on in every aspect. Like, everybody's chaotic, everybody's toxic, everybody's a walking red flag. So then it's like, yeah, I don't know. It's just crazy, but I'm having a great time. I'm really having a great time. It literally has just felt like watching a tragic drama TV show. Truly. A tragic... I can't think of another word. It's literally just, well, I guess toxic would be another T word. Tragic, toxic, drama. Yeah. So good though. So anyway, that's my update. I haven't read any of Kingdom of the Wicked yet, besides what I had read on my Kindle like weeks ago whenever I was talking about like having given it a try just to like get the vibes. I think I literally only read like the first chapter of this, maybe. So I'm excited to get into this, but right now this is literally taking up every single square inch of my brain space, and I need to see what happens. So it is really late right now. I actually have no clue where my phone is, so I don't even know what time it is right now. I'm pretty sure it's like 10:30 140. I have about, I'm pretty sure I have just over 100 pages left in the book. So I really want to try and just lay down, throw on my headphones and finish the book, even though I'm so nervous. I'm so scared to see how it's gonna end. And I feel like for you guys, it probably feels like we got here so fast because I didn't record anything, but I've been reading this for the past 2 days. And so now I'm like, I don't know, like I feel like I've gotten comfortable being in this world, if that makes sense. And I feel like the feeling that I have like thinking about this book is the same feeling that I have thinking about some of my like comfort drama shows, like literally how I feel about Gossip Girl. Like it's literally such a chaotic and toxic show, but it's like become a comfort show to me because I have seen it so many times and like I just love that show so much. And I feel like this evokes the same feeling of that feeling of like you just enjoy being in the world. Like it doesn't even matter if the plot is not cozy, being in the world is cozy, if that makes sense, which is so surprising. Like I did not expect that going into this book, honestly, especially again just after the way that it started and like my initial feelings for the book, I guess. Like I just felt like, okay, this is gonna be good and entertaining, but I did not see myself caring emotionally at all. So I honestly am really surprised. I really surprised myself with this one, and now I'm excited / all caps nervous to finish this book. But that's what we're gonna lay down and do. I'm going to get cozy in bed, finish out the last 100 pages of this, and then I will give you guys my final thoughts before I go to bed tonight. Okay, I finished Daisy Hates. I officially think I'm a Daisy girly. I guess it will depend on how the next Magnolia Park's books go. This was a 5-star for me. And the first Magnolia Park book I think was like a 4, maybe like a 4 point something, but like this was so good and I'm so surprised by it. Also, I'm whispering because it's literally 1:43 in the morning and Mark is passed out behind me. But yeah, this was so good. I will try and talk about it more tomorrow once I can like actually yap and formulate my thoughts, but 5 stars. I'm going to switch over to my Kindle and read some of Kingdom of the Wicked until I fall asleep, because now I'm like, I have like adrenaline from finishing the book, so I know it's probably going to be at least like a good 20 minutes until I actually fall asleep. So I'll probably just read a couple chapters of Kingdom of the Wicked and I'll see you guys tomorrow. But I cannot believe this. It was so good. It was so good. Okay, good night. Okay, good morning, you guys. We have officially finished our first book in Read It or Unhaul It episode 3, obviously, and we are on to our next book, Kingdom of the Wicked. So last night I made it one page into chapter 3, so I'm on page 30 of the book. My first impressions, I would say, is I really, really like the vibes of the book. Like, I know that this is a dark fantasy, but I feel like, I mean, I've only read like a couple other dark fantasies, but I feel like the vibe of this one isn't as, I don't even know the right word. Like, I feel like a lot of the other dark fantasies that I've read felt just a little bit more serious, I guess, or I don't know. I feel like that's not the right word. I feel like what I'm trying to say is like, I feel like it still feels pretty like fantastical, and I feel like with fantasies I tend to lean more towards the fantasies that have that like whimsical, fantastical feeling, or like fairy tale feeling-esque. And I feel like so far, at least, I mean, I'm literally only on the 3rd chapter, but I feel like so far at least this has managed to still have that kind of like dark setting and dark vibe, and there's like witches and there's all of the old tales of all of the demon princes and things like that. So it definitely does have like the really dark atmosphere, I guess, or dark setting of the book, but it still is feeling, I guess I wouldn't say whimsical. Like, I don't think whimsical is the right word, but it just feels like fantastical. And I love that feeling whenever you're first getting into a fantasy book, especially like the first in a trilogy, whenever you know like, okay, we're setting up for like a big adventure, or like setting up for the big plot to take off, or setting up for the main conflict. Like, I kind of love that feeling of like leading into it and being like, okay, what's gonna set it off? Like, what is going to happen? And just like waiting for that moment that you know, like, okay, this is going to jumpstart us on our way and on our journey for the series or for the book. So I'm really enjoying that so far. I really enjoy the dynamic between the two twin sisters as well. I think that their little friendship is really, really cute, which is really sad because literally in the synopsis it says that one of them dies. So I am trying not to get too attached to their little dynamic and their little like sisterhood friendship that they have going on, because I know it's going to be ripped away from me and that's going to be so sad. But I really do like their little relationship and like the little moments that have been shown between them. In the beginning of the book, it kind of starts off with like going through a couple of core moments in their childhood and just like seeing them kind of throughout the years and seeing a few of the moments that built them up to who they are now and kind of got them to where we are now in the book was really, really cute and like meaningful. Even though it was like really short and it like went by really fast, it was literally just like the prologue and then the beginning of the first chapter, I'm pretty sure. Even just from that, like, I feel like you get a really strong sense of the world, their family ties, who the sisters are, like their kind of beliefs, and like just like the setting for everything. I feel like all of that was set up really, really well in like a really short period of time, which made me really excited to get farther into this. So like I said, I am only 30 pages in. We are on chapter 3. I just wanted to hop on here and kind of give you guys like my initial thoughts before getting farther into the book. So I'll probably sit down, and I honestly kind of want to get around halfway and we'll check in at the halfway point and see how I'm feeling, how things are going, if my thoughts and opinions have changed from like my initial feelings, because obviously, as we have seen, my initial feelings can vastly change throughout the course of the book. So I'm very interested to see how I'm feeling once I get a little bit farther, and also once the main plot has taken off, because at the point that I'm at, like, we still haven't reached that point to where like something big has happened and like now there's a major conflict and now we're being set off and everything like that. It's kind of just still setting up, like we're getting more and more pieces of, like I said, the backstory for the demon princes, and kind of learning like, okay, what magic do the sisters have and what magic do all of the other like witch families have, and I don't know, just like setting up the general world, I guess, and just like introducing some key characters. But what I have read so far, I'm really, really enjoying. It was pretty easy for me to get into it, which I really, really appreciate, and I feel like it's reading really quickly too, which I think I can kind of attribute to kind of like how I was saying, like all in the prologue, you got so much information, but it wasn't in a way that it's like info dumpy. It's like you just gather the information from the conversations that the characters are having or from like the stories that are being told, and you kind of like put 2 and 2 together and you get like a really good sense of the information that you need to have without it being like laying out like A, B, C, D, like just giving you the information. It's very much, you just really quickly get a sense of who the characters are, what the rules are, what the vibe is, like all of that stuff. So I really, really like that, and it's already feeling like a really, really easy and immersive read. So I'm really, really excited to get further into this. Like I said, I'm gonna go to about the halfway point, I think, and then check in with you guys. Unless something crazy happens before then I will absolutely check in before then. But as of now, my plans are to get lost in this book and make it at least halfway and then check in with you guys. It has been a while. I'm currently on chapter 26, page 201. I think I'm just over halfway through right now. I don't know. Like, I don't know how I'm feeling about it, honestly. I feel like it started off really strong and then it kind of just has plateaued a little bit, but I'm like really conflicted because I can't think of any issues with it besides the fact that I just feel like we've plateaued a little bit and it's getting a little bit, not boring, it's just like gotten a little bit slow and I'm like ready for something else to happen. But like, I don't even know why, because it's like there has been like information reveals, there has been, you know, things happening here and there, but I just feel like I am not fully invested, at least halfway through. I'm very entertained. I'm interested to see where the plot goes. I just am not like emotionally invested or like super connected to the main characters, I guess. I will say there's a lot of things I do like about it. First of all, I feel like this does not feel like a dark fantasy. Like, it's not giving dark fantasy. It's just giving witchy YA fantasy. So I don't know. I guess that's just throwing me off. I don't know why I'm so like stuck on that, but I think it's because I've had this book on my shelf for so long and I always knew it was a dark fantasy. And so I think I just had like such different expectations for like what the vibes were going to be and like what the story was going to be about, which I guess is my fault, you know, like building up different expectations. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just feeling like really conflicted. I don't feel like a huge urgency to like finish the book. Like, I feel like I could easily set this down and then pick it up again like 2 weeks from now. But it's weird because it's not like I'm disliking it. Nothing has happened to make me like dislike the book. Like right now I'm feeling like solid 3.5, 3.75 maybe. So I don't know. I just think that I'm feeling conflicted because it's not like I dislike the book and it's not like anything has happened to make me think like this is a bad book. It's just like, you know, I don't think it's going to end up being one of my favorites, I guess. It's just like a decent, entertaining, really fast-paced, witchy vibe, you know? And like, I really like the enemies to lovers aspect. I do like the setup for the two main characters and their relationship, but like, I just feel like there's not, I don't know, like there's not enough depth between like the two main characters, I guess, because like we're about 50% of the way in and we're starting to get little hints of like flirtation and like, you know, enemies to lovers vibe, but I just feel like it's not necessarily, like, it doesn't feel warranted. It just feels like, and now the enemies will become lovers. Like, I don't know, but it's not like it's bad. Like, it's written in a way that's enjoyable. It's just like, it's not doing enough for me, I guess. And I don't know if this is because, one, like literally the last like 4 books that I've read have all been really, really good 5-star books, most of them fantasy, and then obviously Daisy hates. So I don't know if that's just like the feeling of like coming out of like a little moment of having a bunch of bangers like back to back to back. Obviously every book is not going to be a 5-star, so then like going from that to like a book that I don't think is going to be 5 stars, like I don't know if that's what that is. I also feel like I'm starting to feel sick, which is so unfortunate. I thought I had made it out unscathed, but over the past few hours my nose has been getting progressively more stuffed, and also I've had some stray coughs here and there coming out of nowhere. So I don't know if that's just because I'm like dehydrated and my throat is dry, or if I caught whatever the kids have, because Bowie is also now sick too. So maybe just a combination of all those things. I genuinely don't know. But like, it's not like this book is bad. It's not like I'm having a bad time. I just, where we're at in the plot right now, it's not like, it doesn't feel urgent at all. Like, I don't feel like, oh my gosh, I need to keep reading to find out what's gonna happen, like what's gonna happen. Even though there's a lot of things unanswered still. Like, there's a lot of things, we're definitely like in the middle of the plot. There's like a lot of things that they're searching to find answers for, and there's a lot of things that need to be figured out and solved. It's just like, I don't feel the need to figure it out. Like, I'm just here along for the ride, and I'm not like, I need to figure this out, if that makes sense. But it's also like, I don't want to put the book down because like I do want to find out what's gonna happen. I just don't feel the urgency, or like, I don't know, I guess just that feeling whenever you're like really, really enjoying a book and it's so good and the plot has you hooked, so you're like, I don't want to go to bed right now. Like, I don't want to put the book down. I don't want to, you know, like whatever it is, it's like, oh my gosh, I need to finish this book, or I can't wait to get back into this world. It's just like, I don't feel an urgency to get back to this world. I don't feel an urgency to figure out what's going to happen in the plot. I just feel like, okay, I'll read it. Like, it's entertaining. Like, okay, I'll pick it up. Like, like it's pretty good. So I don't know. I guess we still have like 100 and something pages for this to change my mind, and it's happened before where like the second half of a book will have like a complete vibe shift or like just get immensely better in the second half of the book. I guess like that has happened. So I won't speak too soon because I am going to switch over to my Kindle and read as much as I can tonight. I'm honestly hoping to finish it because I kind of just want to be done with this book, honestly, because I don't want to like put myself into a slump if I take too long to read this book, and then I, you know, like I feel like that's how it snowballs sometimes. So I feel like the best thing for me to do right now is open up my Kindle. This is on Kindle Unlimited, so I don't have to buy a copy, which is really, really nice. So I'm going to switch over to my Kindle, wash my face, get really cozy in bed, and just read as much as I can. Hopefully finish the book, and I will update you guys on how I'm feeling if the end of this book somehow changes my feelings. But right now I feel like we're sitting pretty middle of the road. Like not a bad book, not the best book. It's just like a decent enemies to lovers witchy fantasy. So those are my thoughts and feelings. I will see you guys either much later tonight when I finish the book or tomorrow in the morning after I finish the book. Okay, I have officially finished Kingdom of the Wicked. I think my final rating for this is gonna be just plain 3 stars because final thoughts, I guess, it started off so strong. It was so easy to get into and it felt like it was about to be like a really good fast-paced YA fantasy, and then it just slowed down so much in the middle and started to just feel, I don't know, like it was still entertaining but there wasn't really much more to it for me, like as far as investment wise go. Like I just was not fully invested in it, but I was still like entertained, and I really like the writing style of it too. Like it's not even like a writing thing, like I thought that the writing style was really good, but I don't know, just something about the storyline, like it just wasn't the best fantasy I've ever read. It was just like a decent and entertaining fantasy. I am interested to see, because I know that the next 2 books, like this is a YA, but I think that the next 2 books are technically categorized as new adult, so I'm very interested to see if I end up liking the next 2 books better. Like maybe that'll be the difference that I end up liking in the series or something, because the thing is, like it started off really strong, then it slowed way down, but then the ending, like I really liked the ending. The ending got a lot more, like I guess it just felt more like high stakes, and I was a little bit more invested in what was going to happen, and I do like the way that it ended, and it did, like the ending was solid enough to bring back my interest and bring my rating back up a little bit, and honestly like entice me enough to still want to continue the series. Like I am interested in reading the next book and seeing what's going to happen because of the way that this ended, so that's really good, and I feel like that's why I ended up landing on 3 stars, because for me 3 stars is just like middle of the road. Like it was good. I start to lean more into the 2-star territory when there were things about it that I like disliked about it. So 3 stars for Kingdom of the Wicked. We finished 2 books in this episode of Read It or Unhaul It. I was going to read a 3rd book for this episode, but I am progressively feeling more and more sick. Thankfully, both of the kids are feeling better now, so I just dropped them off at school. So that kind of worked out nicely where I started feeling sick once they were better. So now I can like just poop out at the house while they're at school today at least. So hopefully I'm able to start feeling better soon and we can start another reading vlog. Let me know what you guys think about majority of the videos being challenge videos to get through my physical TBR, because I really want to prioritize it, and I feel like a good way to prioritize it will be doing just a bunch of fun challenge videos. So I'm thinking more Read It or Unhaul It videos, more 24-hour reading challenges, reading my Goodreads highest and lowest rated. Maybe I could do a spinner wheel challenge, but I do feel like that's kind of the same thing as doing the Read It or Unhaul It jar, so I don't know. Anyway, that is all I have for today's video. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Also, thank you so much to all of my patrons over on my Bookaholics Anonymous book club Patreon page if you're ever interested in joining that. The link is always down in my description box as well. But yeah, other than that, that's all I have for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!